can only try. If all else fails, then he'll be living in Erdington, you know, within the next 6 months, yeah? Yes. We'd appeal and then change his address. It's a shame that you have to do that just to get into a school, you know, where you'd want them to attend.
Those who can afford it can avoid moving altogether.
Primary school, I had to go on a waiting list and get in another way, yeah.
Alison's friends who live in the heart of Sutton Coldfield may have had to pay up to 60% more for their homes, but this has almost guaranteed their children a place in some of Birmingham's best comprehensives. Alison has no such guarantee.
So are you worried, Rebecca?
No, I'm not really. Because I don't mind which school he goes to.
No, Salvaterra's good school.
He's guaranteed after because of where you live, aren't you? But I think if you live in Sutton, you're almost guaranteed a good school because they're all good, aren't they? I think it's if you're on the borderline, like you say, you could get college high, and that is when you start to have your fears, really.
You worry?
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to do my hand it over and what will be, but I still have in the back of my head, could end up at college high. It's irrational.
But I think
It's an irrational fear.
But I think as a parent, you're bound to feel like that.
Yeah, because of my friend's son that ended up there. She didn't get any of the Sutton schools, and this is my thing that I'm worried about in her position. And her son in the first week there sort of had a knife at his throat and all this sort of stuff. But actually he's doing really well there now. And they've changed the name and he's doing really well.
It's hard to say, isn't it? You don't know much about the school, and your child's going to be spending the next 5 years there. At least.
When Rebecca was going, we could have got Castle Vale School.
Yeah,
we
like
haven't got a certain school. And that was a worry. And our worry was that she's not streetwise like the kids that live on Castle Vale. And because we protect our children from certain things that go on. And
yeah, I think probably our kids would stand out and sort of, that's your worry really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I couldn't bear to be... I feel stressed enough, and Phoebe's more or less guaranteed to go to the school that she wants to.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm nitpicking over stupid little things, but I couldn't bear to be under that pressure, and I think you do it amazingly well not to transmit that to Ethan. And you don't.
Alison's friend Sally and her daughter Phoebe live right on the doorstep of 3 of the highly regarded Sutton Coldfield comprehensives.
So we've got to make 6 choices. For our first choice, we have to put down, well, it's your first choice, the school that you want to go to.
Okay.
But, you know,
unlikely to get into the closest school.
To get into. So what do you think you want to put as your first choice?
I think I might put Fairfax.
I used to think that school was the worst place I'd ever want to be, but now I think differently. I think it's one of the good places to be because you've got people who know you, people who can look after you, and people who you can tell your problems to.
I mean, I think really, Phoebes, you'll get your first choice because we live within walking distance, really.
I hope I either get the first or second.
Because unless there's a huge load of brothers and sisters that are going, they take all the places. I think you should do. There's such a fine degree of difference between the 3 schools probably that Phoebe could go to. Where everybody's fighting over the same ones, but I don't know what other system you could put in place. Right, so it's me. Right, done.
I'm very excited. It's like a butterfly feeling. The thought of walking to school and back on your own is quite amazing.
For whatever reason, they all do fairly well, the schools in this area. But I think it's also made people move to this area. I feel privileged that I can do that. And I don't, I don't know how I would react if I was in a position where I couldn't make that choice.
I think I'm really lucky.
There are just 2 days left for all Birmingham families to make their final secondary school decisions and return their forms to the Education Authority. Of the 90,000 preferences expressed in Birmingham this year, every family has different concerns.
Some kids over at the playing field, there was just, you know, being a bit bullied to him and a bit, you know, it's all right now, it's okay. But he hasn't been back over there since, because he says he wouldn't go back over.
So what actually happened? There were just some kids playing football? Or?
Yeah, and they wanted Thomas's ball, and then when obviously Thomas never gave it to him, they started being a bit racialist to him and kicking him and, you know, a little bit. So he come over back to me like a bit upset.
They think that he's like weak and because Thomas not like he didn't have no big brother or anybody living around here. He be with him most of the time to like see like what's happening with him and everything. So they think that they can bully him and everything. They bully him a lot. Cause like the other day we went to get his ball back and he started swearing at him. Was you there? Yeah, I was. Remember when me
since he hasn't gone to the park, he's fine.
When he goes up there, they swear at him a lot. I don't know. They call him Malteser head.
White Maltese head.
Malteser head. White Malteser head. He said it to him in front of me. One of our friends here, he always says that to him. And Thomas be sad here. So we just had to try to be with Thomas because he's probably the only white person living around here who's our friend. So why would we want to be like wrong to him like that? Because he's one of our good friends as well. He like plays with us. He like helps us with things and everything.
He's done ever such a good poem about go to Miss Polly if you get bullied. So his poem rhymes, and they put it on the office wall because they said it was that good. If a bully hurts your heart, please don't let them start. If they send you horrible text messages on your phone, that person should leave you alone. If they spread rumours in class, just ignore it and let it pass. If there is a bully, tell Miss Polly. You've done that really good.
Thomas's parents have decided to give first and second place on their form to schools that are further away but more racially mixed. They're putting Saltley, their closest school, in last place.
Well, we wanted more of a mixed school.
And why? What's Saltley like?
It's at least 90% Asian. But he's had that all his life, hasn't he? So we just wanted more of a mixture. So he gets on with everybody.
He does, yeah.
I certainly wouldn't want an all-white school. Definitely not. You want a bit of a mixture.
What's your first school you put down? Thomas, what's your first school you put down?
Gottingen.
My last one, do you remember it?
Secondly. Let me do it.
Oh yeah, my last one's Wash Your Teeth. Your last one's Wash Your Teeth.
I did
Cousin, what's yours?
I did Wash Your Teeth. I did Saltley. What else did I do? I did Sheldon.
It's a good school, but the thing is here that it's like too racist. Some people be racist. Like there be like lots of like white people fighting like people this day. I go there, I know. The Asian geezer here, he headbutted this black boy and he started bleeding in front of the whole school. He headbutted him bang.
I was talking to a few mums on Thursday when I went up to pick Thomas up, and they asked me what school would Thomas like to go to. I says, well, the International's one of them, and then Cockshott Hill's one of them. And she said, oh, the International's bad, you know. I says, what do you mean it's bad? She says, well, there's an incident went on there a couple of years ago where they had to get the police involved because it was an assault, she said.
What secondary school are you going to, Adam? Wash Your Teeth, Saltley, Waverley, Cockshott Hill, and
It's gonna be scary, but it's gonna be fun because you're gonna get to know more, like new teachers, new friends, make new friendship, and then you're gonna have more fun. You're gonna miss primary school a bit first, but then you're gonna start laughing.
Number 13.
I too.
57.
No.
40.
Wrong.
Sophia's first 11 plus exam is only days away. In the 2-hour exam, she'll be tested in maths, English, verbal and non-verbal reasoning.
Right, 8 from 8.
She's hoping to get into one of Birmingham's top state grammar schools, King Edward Camphill School for Girls.
That's how they taught you at school.
If I didn't get in, I think I'd feel like quite gutted. I wouldn't be like extremely happy. But if I did get in, I think I'd just be over the moon. Because then all the training I'd done would be for like something and I would have got in.
Look at that one. I'll have a look at the other one. Paul draws a plan of his school using a scale of 2 centimetres to 5 metres. So on the plan, on the paper, it's 2 centimetres equals 5 metres.
Working together on things is really blissful, getting to know your daughter, getting to know how she works and ticks.
He done that, but he didn't say that in the multiple choice.
I've had deep conversations with my daughter at the age of 11 about academic achievements are not everything, Dad. And I think more so than the academic institute, it's how much her parents love and care for her. Right, that's the key thing. Just helping you along down this particular little road that you've got to go down for the next couple of months.
It's parent-teacher night at Sophia's primary school.
We're on. Yes, here we go. How are you? Streets and streets of boats lined up at the edge of the walkway, which was crowded by wealthy folk and scurrying servants. Children hastily ran up the gangway below the Titanic chimneys while the rippled water lapped against the concrete. In the distance, you could see several lovely ships chugging out to sea, and as your paintbrush sways gracefully across the canvas, you're alone, only the sea is present. I mean, now that is outstanding. I think I would struggle to write that. Now,
I wouldn't write that in a million years.
that's out of 12 marks. She's been given 11. Maybe she's playing Sir Devil's Advocate and not liking to give the full 12 marks. Really and truly, as far as I'm concerned, that hits everything that we'd expect them to do at this stage.
It's strange when you see your daughter growing up or your son. And it's like, makes you feel.
Proud.
Try not to. Oh dear.
Across the city, Julie has been given special dispensation to conduct a nighttime visit to a family whose proper address she's still uncertain of.
So we're driving out now early evening to try and identify and help the family to indicate which address they're actually living permanently at.
Arriving at destination on left.
This is it. There's clothes on the banister, there's a TV there, there's a bag on the side.
Yeah.
There's clothes.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody living there.
Oh well. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like the family live here because there's lights on, TV, telephone connected. So it's really difficult. We're just getting really, really close to the deadline where we won't be able to change a home address because obviously most of the schools will rank according to distance. So once we've set the home address, that's set then.
While most children are looking forward to the end of term, 10,000 grammar school hopefuls are just beginning to sit 11 plus tests that will run on for months. Today is Sophia's first exam for Sutton Coldfield Grammar School for Girls.
Most of the working that we've done is like building up to now. So it's a bit weird.
Have you got your pencils and that?
Yeah.
I'll get you some more pencils. And
No,
some.
I've got loads, Dad. I've taken most of the problems.
And you've got the rubbers as well?
Yeah, I got one rubber.
You know, when you rub out any wrong answer, make sure you rub it out completely and put the new answer on it, otherwise it doesn't work. Because they're going to mark it by a computer. Obviously, if there's 2 on there, boy.
While I'm calmly answering questions in the what I'm supposing would be cool, he'll be biting his nails, and I'll just be calmly doing that. He said he'd probably be more anxious than I am. The bag with pencils.
Yeah, make sure when you're answering the question, you answer with a ruler. It's like 1, you answer in your answer sheet 1, 2, etc. By my computer bag, I put another one of those A4 plastic sheets, and in there are like 24 pencils. Because the last thing you want to start doing, Spear Baby, is start sharpening pencils there.
I'm slightly excited. I'm slightly like nervous and anxious. I don't know. It's just a bit confusing. Yeah.
This is the first of 5 tests for both state and independent schools that Sophia will sit over the next 4 months.
Teeth and I did this drive yesterday, just to make sure we didn't get lost, and I didn't get stressed, and then we ended up going there in the wrong frame of mind. At the moment it's nice and relaxed, and that's the way it should be. Hopefully that will help Sophia.
No, give me that.
Sophia, don't forget to say Bismillah before you start your test, baby. It's, we just start everything in the name of God, so it just helps the thing go through, hopefully. I said, if all else fails, Sophia, I'll do your test for you.
I'm scared.
No, you don't.
Oh dear.
No, but that's you don't get scared, Sophia. I know that you're just being silly. Okay, you're going out.
You got the paper.
He didn't notice me.
Next time, we'll discover if all of Sophia's hard work has been worth it. We meet 3 more Birmingham children hoping to go to their favourite secondary school.
The adjective is the word describing the noun. I'm deciding to remove.
If I do get the school that I have picked, I'll be really excited.
Julie Newbold launches the process that will decide the fate of Birmingham's 11-year-olds.
So I'm about to make lots of families either very, very happy or not so happy. Here we go.
Ahmed, it's not fair. She said don't open.
I'm not opening it.
You are.
And after 6 months,
Mommy, hurry up!
they discover what schools they've been offered and adjust to the new life ahead of them.
Ah!
What does it say?